Welcome back to a closer look. The Independent Consumer and Competition Commission has recently announced a slight decrease of fuel prices across the country. This change occurs on the 8th of every month and is regulated by the Independent Consumer and Competition Commission, or the ICCC.
This month's indicative retail fuel price was explained by the country's fuel price regulator, the Independent Consumer and Competition Commission, recently in Port Moresby. Although it is indicated that the prices have slightly decreased, the fuel price remains at a high state, both in the country and globally. ICCC's Executive Manager for Price and Productivity Division, Jack Timmy, explains this. He also outlines a couple of factors affecting the change in fuel price.
Yes, so fuel price for this month is currently, there was a slight decrease, but actually, if you look at it, the prices for fuel at the moment is still very high. And this is driven by crude oil prices, global crude oil prices. They are currently very high because it is subject to demand and supply in the market. At the moment, I think the main reason why the price of fuel in the country, and not just in the country, is globally as well, it continues to remain high is because of, since 2022, is because of production cuts by OPEC. OPEC member countries have a significant impact on fuel prices when they cut production. Just last month alone, they announced an extension of 2.2 million barrels per day production cuts. That is to continue to support the current crude oil prices.
Another prime factor of the change in retail fuel prices is the ongoing global tensions in the Middle East.
In addition to that, we currently have geopolitical tensions in the Middle East, so it has made the situation a bit worse. So if you look at it, around December, crude oil prices were trading around $70 per day, and now it's back up to $90 around $90 per day. And then one of the contributing factors for that is the global tensions in the Middle East, especially the Red Sea. Vessels cannot at the moment go freely between the Red Sea to the Middle East, where most of the crude oil production is undertaken. So that's the reason why it's disrupting supply and affecting prices. So it's a supply and demand issue.
Timmy confirmed that kina depreciation is another common factor.
Over the past 12 months, the kina has been depreciating, so it has some impact on fuel prices as well. Because when we import fuel into the country, it's in US dollars, and when we have to convert it back to the kina, it affects us with the prices we set for retail service stations throughout the country.
With fuel being the lifeguard of the country, ICCC, under its current legislation, continues to ensure that there is fuel in the market for consumers. Meanwhile, earlier this year, the search for an alternate fuel supplier was in demand for the PNG government. Puma Energy was selected to remain the current alternate supplier of fuel in the country. However, the PNG alternate government claims that the issue of sorting out an alternate fuel supplier should have been addressed long ago.
If the government changes, it shouldn't be a difficult proposition to bring all of these players, whether it be Island Petroleum or Mobil or Total, and say, look, how can we fix it? I'm sure the private sector has a solution, because that's their job. But fuel is a strategically important energy issue for the country, so it must be resolved.
Today, fuel customers are still feeling the pinch of fuel crisis. This was what some of them had to say.
We are actually crawling. Puma should go. We don't need Puma. And in the interim, we have to have our national, Kumul Petroleum going into partnership with another, maybe a trusted friend like Shell or Mobil, so that we can keep the supply going and get this country off the grip that we are faced with.
So, and one is making me Puma Energy now yet Ron Sabat shut down. One me so me like the Nubla company low take over this fuel one me plus short line. Now to government make you but lo government to him side lo government to him all making me so government to him must step down to another Nubla man seem to name run country to him right.
We take a quick breather now, and when we return, we will take a closer look at the Fukushima fiasco and the risk it poses.